What's happening, everybody? I'm Steve, and welcome back to Junkdrummer TV, where I give my initial reactions, my hot takes, and my analysis on the drummers of today and yesterday, and maybe tomorrow if I stick around that long. I'm a professional drum teacher and a gigging musician, and I have been for the last 20 plus years. Today we're going to the comments section because we're going to be checking out Yusef Dayes or Yusef Dayes. I couldn't find an interview where they said his name, so I'm not sure how to say his last name, so I'm just going to say Yusef a lot. And per the comments section, he is a British jazz drummer or British funk drummer. I guess we're going to find out today because I don't know anything about him. This is going to be a classic reaction video. He's going to be playing with Rocco, Palladino, and Charlie Stacey. Charlie Stacey. You know you're getting old when your favorite bass player has a son who is now like an up-and-coming badass bass player? That doesn't make me feel old at all. But since I don't know anything about Yusef, there's no reason for a long preamble, although I would like to remind you that I have opened up my practice to online lessons. If you're interested in studying with me, please go to my About tab in my YouTube or hit me up on Instagram, Junkdrummer, and drop me a line. So let's get into Yusef Dayes or Yusef Dayes with Rocco Palladino and Charlie Stacey, and they're going to be playing Yesterday Princess. Well, that's definitely Palladino's son playing fretless bass. Man, he has his dad's tone. Oh, shit. Wow. Yeah. Okay, this dude has incredible groove. That buzz roll. His left hand is off the chain. Okay, I see why everyone wanted me to comment on this guy. Holy shit. Whew, man, that's heavy duty groove right there. This kind of feels like modern day jazz to me. Modern day jazz is definitely not your grandfather's jazz of sping, sping-a-ling, sping-a-ling. You know, it has hip-hop influences. I feel like there's some, based on his hi-hat work, I feel like there's some reggae influence on there. Let's talk about that left hand for a second. He's doing a lot of cool subdivisions off of that 16th note groove that he's playing off the hi-hat, and then playing different subdivisions off there. He was like going in for between 16th notes and triplets in there as well. But the thing where he's doing there, that you can't hear it very well on this practice pad, but that bzzz, that you have to have a really good buzz roll to be able to keep that buzz going for as long as he is. He's getting that buzz roll almost going for like a whole eighth note, which is not a buzz roll, but that one I call crush roll, that thing. Man, that is a cool thing. If you want, ooh, damn. If you want to pick that up and put that in your game, yeah, like that. You need to work on your buzz roll. Oh, shit, okay. So, I always think of like that in-between rim shot, snare drum thing. That's kind of like a timbali technique. You know, it's a Latin instrument. It's like a snare drum, it's like two snare drums without a bottom head. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know what I like about this is you can tell this guy has superior world-class chops, and he's not just knocking your head off with them. He's using these world-class chops to be real creative, like the filmmaker is doing with this right now. So if you notice, Rocco, the bass player, is kind of being the drummer, the constant in this. He has this kind of like 2-measure phrase, whatever it is. I'm no singer. And him playing so repetitively, man, this stuff is just so in the pocket. It allows Yussef to weave in and out of this constant bass ostinato that's going on. It frees up the drummer to really be creative. Yeah, because Yussef always knows that bass part's going to be there. He knows what to expect, so he can play in and out and through that bass line. That, man, that right there, that is a great example of jazz interplay. You know who did that the best ever, of course, is Tony Williams and Ron Carter. A lot of times Ron Carter would play a bass ostinato and give Tony Williams the chance to just weave in and out and do what he wanted to with the time, knowing that the bass player was always going to be at home base. That's what you're seeing right here. You're seeing a very Ron Carter, Tony Williams concept, but they're not swinging. This isn't, 60s bebop jazz. This is funk, like reggae influence, but with that jazz overtone of improvisation. Love it. Playing all those 8 notes on the bass drum, but again, right there, he played over the bar line, and it was, yeah. Okay, now we're really starting to sound like a jazz drummer now. And again, that bass part is all the way through, that weaves its way in and out, and that really allows the drummer space to be creative. And as a rhythm section, you gotta give each other that. Chops, 60s note running. Yeah, you can tell this dude's got a lot of stuff in the tank, but he's not. Well, I think we're gonna see some unleashing the hounds now. But up until that point, this point, yeah, doubles, yeah. When you have your snare drum tuned as tight as he does, let's talk about his tuning. His tuning's super dry snare drum sound. When you have your snare drum tuned that tight, every articulation comes out in your, off of your sticks. You hear every little small thing. And sometimes when a snare drum is tuned that tight, it can, without any resonance to kind of hide your wonky time, it can kind of highlight sloppy left hand stuff. So when you have a snare drum tuned that tight, you have to be that much more precise than if you've got a softer, more resonant sounding snare drum, which is kind of the snare drum I usually go for. And it brings out the articulations in your double strokes and your buzzes and your ghost notes so much more. Yeah, see, we always knew he had these chops, but he didn't feel like he needed to just whip it out all the damn time. Rocco even looks like his dad when he's playing. Yeah, man, I love that press roll that he's getting. He's pushing the time just a tad. That's okay. If you notice, he's pushing the time even more. He's even more on top from here. Little cymbal stack action. And Pino's way behind. So Pino's way back here and he's way up here. But Pino stays there because he knows he's going to come back. Or they're going to end the song. Man, Rocco is his dad's son. Yeah, man, not your grandfather's jazz. This is where jazz is going and has been going this way for a while. I always think that Soul Live was the band that brought back the backbeat to improvisational music, and Medeski, Martin and Wood too. this band would be right at home opening for Medeski Martin Wood, Yusef Dayes or Dayes. Man, I'm so sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, because you deserve more respect than that. One of the things I like the most about what we saw today was, this comes from a Sting quote. Sting, not the wrestler, who's awesome, but Sting, you know, Sting. Mr. Sting, as Frank Zappa called him. Mr. Sting said he always thought it was, there's something romantic about seeing a musician and knowing that he or she is not giving it all to you all at once and just showing you everything that they can do. It's mysterious and sexy to leave something behind, because then you can always be going somewhere. You've heard me on this channel on multiple occasions rail against YouTube shred culture. Chops. That's cool, man. That drum athleticism is cool. This dude right here is as much athlete as you'll see anywhere. And I'm sure there's tons of other videos of him going the fuck off. But he was just playing what this song called for. And he was using his advanced technical ability to be able to do creative things. And that's the number one thing. The only reason I want to be able to play at a high level and have difficult, quote unquote, difficult things that I can do is so I can be creative with them. Because me watching you play a bunch of fucking 30-second notes for 5 minutes all around your drum set is not creative. It's just athleticism. This was what you want to do with those advanced chops. His left hand was out of sight. And like I said, when you have your snare drum tuned that tight, it brings out all the articulation, and it will also bring out your bad articulation if you don't have good articulation. So anytime I hear, you know, a badass with a snare drum tight like that, I know that they're going to be real badass. Because if you want to hide your dirty double strokes and your dirty buzz rolls, detune your snare drum and loosen up your snares a little bit, and it'll be a little bit more forgiving. A snare drum that tight is not forgiving at all. Yeah, this is the reason why I started this channel, so I could be told what to listen to by anonymous people all over the globe and be turned on to people that maybe I would not have heard of. I've never heard of Yusef Dayes. I quit reading Modern Drummer. I got to start reading Modern Drummer again, because I'm sure he's been in there. So I hope you all enjoyed all that. I hope you learned a few things. We got to finally do some education time again. Yusef Dayes and Rocco Palladino, Pino's son, who's obviously named after Rocco Prestia, the famous bass player for Tower of Power. Get your chops, get all the chops, get all the advanced techniques that you can, and then make sure you're being creative with them and not just pulling out chops trying to get laid. And if you want to do that, you got to keep practicing until it's easy.